I have always shown more love to people than I've gotten back. And this isn't a video where I'm trying to victimize myself or look for pity. It's just an observation of my life where I have always invested in people more than they've invested in me. I've always been interested in people more than they've ever been interested in me. I've been always wanting to help people more than they ever wish to help me. And that, I guess, way of life, of constantly wanting to give, be there for people in the best of my capacity, it's run me thin. It's run me dry. And I'm getting to that point in my life now where I sit and I think all the time about how, in a way, I just become resentful of these people. Because I kind of sit there and I say, why can't you care about me the way I care about you? Why can't you show interest in me and my life the way that I do about you? Why is it that I'm always the one that feels as if I'm getting the bad end of the stick? And I had this conversation in therapy once. And the one thing I had been told by my therapist was that they are showing that they care. These people are showing that they love you or whatever within the capacity that they know. So growing up for me, I always had to feel like I had to go above and beyond to keep the peace. Always feeling like I needed to put myself in the middle of my parents' arguments and try and de-escalate. Growing up, I was always really scared of the idea of my parents separating and divorcing, irrespective of how bad my father treated us. So I would always try to mediate. And as a result, I always try to go above and beyond to make sure everybody was okay. Even when we were in situations where I shouldn't have done that. I do the same thing for friends. When I see people are having a bad day, when I see that maybe there's some tension amongst the friend group or whatever between a couple of people, I'm always the first one to put my hand forward and say, okay, let's resolve this because we can't keep having this tension. I've always had this idea of let's resolve, let's fix things. And I always have put that burden on myself, even if I shouldn't be putting that burden on myself. But when I look at my mental image of what friendship, of what loyalty, of what love looks like, it is going above and beyond. It is being inconvenienced in a way. I think every relationship revolves some sort of inconvenience. The degree of that inconvenience will depend on the relationship, but the inconvenience is going to be there. And I feel like people just don't want to be inconvenienced anymore. People aren't willing to bite the bullet for the people that they say they care about anymore. But me, I've never changed that. My boys can call me at 4 a.m., I'll pick up. Even if the shit that they call me about is the dumbest shit ever that could have waited till the next day. Because I've missed some of those phone calls before, now those people aren't here with me anymore. So now I feel like I have to pick up every call. I need to make sure that my friends always know that I'm there. Because who knows what this phone call is? Even if it's a dumbass phone call, at least I can go back to sleep. Yeah, I'd be pissed off because I'm like, you just wasted my... now I can't go back to sleep. But I have that peace of mind to agree that, okay, he's okay. But people don't do that for me. People don't do that for me. It's like I sometimes stop everything that I do, stop in my tracks to pick up that phone call or to answer that message or whatever it is. But people do not do that for me. And the only one that has is my mother. So, of course, Ma Duke, she's rock solid with me. But nobody else does that. And again, it comes back to that idea that my therapist told me, that they're trying to love me in my capacity, and they have in their mind that, oh, if he just needs help, he'll ask. They don't pick up on the signs that someone's struggling the way that I do, because it comes back to hypervigilance. I tend to notice the smallest changes in reaction, tone, and body language and emotion. Even if somebody daps me up a little bit differently, I can be like, all right, something's up. And 9 times out of 10, I'm right. I'm not going to lie. 9 times out of 10, I'm right. But of course, people are not going to be able to, I guess you could say, analyze that the way that I can, because they haven't been put in situations where they need to be able to analyze that deeply. They haven't experienced moments in their life where they need to be able to analyze that. So I'm not going to call it blissful ignorance, but it is a level of unknown they just don't know. Those tone shifts, the body language shifts, all those things, to them it's all the same. And one thing I told my therapist was, am I fucked up for not wanting to have friends that can't pick up on those things? Because it's already so hard for me to talk about problems that I have. Even my best friends, my closest circle, there's still things I don't tell them, because a lot of times I don't feel like they'll care. And also, what would they do other than give me a damn, bruh? Shit. Hey man, but the game keeps on going. Like, I don't want to hear that right now. And then, of course, I love my mother to death. I love my family to death, but they don't understand a lot of things. A lot of the things I feel like I have problems with are things that are because of just being a man and not having male guidance growing up. So how am I going to speak to a woman about that? Or it's just certain domains that my family just simply will not understand. So why am I going to sit there and get lectured by them after opening up when they don't even understand where the fuck I'm coming from? Why would I do that? Wasting everybody's time. But yeah, I said, is it fucked up for me that I don't want to be around people that aren't able to pick these things up? And honestly, I don't remember what she said to that. But that's what I want to expand upon. Because now I'm at that point, like I said earlier, where I'm tired. I'm tired of constantly sticking my neck out for other people and getting spat on. I'm sick and tired of going above and beyond for the people around me just for them to question my character and question my intentions towards them. Listen, I'm not a good liar. I'm not at all. Never have been. So when I genuinely fuck with somebody and I'm showing them love, you can see it on my face. If I don't fuck with you, you're also going to see that on my face. You're going to see it in my body language. I can't fake it, man. I can't fake the superficial conversation. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's just physically not within me. My body just rejects it. And it blows my mind when people see me in the day-to-day and they can realize it's like, yo, you really just got no filter. You really can't hide that shit, can you? And so you've seen how I am, how I operate, how I respond to things or whatever. You still question my character. You still assume things about me, slander me sometimes when it's unwarranted. And then those situations will happen. I'll think back on my time with that person and be like, damn, they never really cared about me the way that I did about them anyways. I look back and it was always me checking up. It was me starting the conversation. It was me expanding or trying to get deep. It was always me initiating. It was never someone trying to initiate it with me. And I feel like this my whole life. So it's to the point that it's hard for me to think about that concept that someone's going to waltz into my life one day and is actually going to care. Is going to want to ask these questions. Is going to want to know the ins and outs of me and how and what I've been through, how I look at life, and I guess love me. It's a hard thing for me to wrap my head around because I've gone my whole life feeling unloved. And when I say this, I don't want to downplay, for example, what my mother, my sister have done for me. But like, there's still so many aspects of my life, and they can only love me within their own capacity too, right? So they still have to have their life and their shit figured out as well. I can't expect them to fill my entire cup. A lot of that cup has to be filled by myself, and that's something I've been working on for some time now. And there'll be days where that cup is filled more to the brink than others. But it's definitely something I still struggle with. Because growing up, it felt like no one valued me. So finding value for myself is difficult. Because I've never been enough for anybody. I feel like that's another reason why I try to go above and beyond, is to prove my worth to people. But it's crazy because logically I can sit there and say, why am I trying to prove my worth to people I'm not going to speak to in a year, in 2 years, in 6 months, maybe tomorrow? Why am I trying to prove my worth to people that have not been in my shoes and don't understand me and what I've been through and how I operate? Why am I trying to prove myself to these people? And this is advice I give to other people. Like, yo, fuck what anyone thinks of you. And this is something that I've been embodying a little bit better since I started making videos. Because, I mean, there's been plenty of people that got shit to say about this stuff. People I know personally. But it's still something I have to work on. And I've talked about this before on my TikTok page. Everything's in the description, link tree. Check it out. But this whole idea has really impacted my ability to develop any sort of romantic connection. I met some amazing women. I met some amazing people that on paper would be the best possible fit for me. And I just mentally check out. I know it's like I expect a certain level of energy when we first start talking, and if it's not there, my mind just checks out. Not knowing that a lot of the times this shit can be a slow burn. And as a result, I've probably passed on plenty of opportunities where I could have found this companionship that I feel like I will never find and also am not deserving of. So a lot of the times I end up just reflecting on myself. Am I not getting the love that I wish I got back because people genuinely aren't doing it, or is it because am I rejecting it? And I feel like it's a bit of both. I feel like there's a level of love that I expect people to kind of come with, and when they come with it, I'm open to it. But if they don't, then I just shove you to the side. And of course, that's had adverse effects on my ability to build relationships, to build connection. And I don't know, this idea of building connection with anybody just feels pointless, hopeless in a way. That I'm just gonna be doomed forever with all the shit that I've been through. It doesn't matter how much work I put in, I'm not gonna be able to find someone that appreciates me for what I've been through and appreciates me for Zan as an individual. It's always gonna be about what I can bring to their life. And of course, you should have standards, right? Like, no one wants to be with a bum, or no one wants to be with someone that's gonna ruin their life, but a lot of times I feel like I'm written off. I'm written off before we can even get started. At least that's what it feels like. But nowadays, I feel like I'm the one doing the writing off. And I'm rushing things. I'm not letting things, like I said earlier, build slowly. Let that slow burn kick in. Like when I was younger, and I used to be a bit of a city boy, and I used to just talk to every girl, have 35, 40, 50 girls on my Snapchat. Yes, it got that crazy. And I was doing whatever I was doing. The girls that I remember the most from that time period weren't the ones that were telling me I was fine, or they trying to crack, or they're like, you want me to send it? Those girls don't even ever cross my mind because I never was super intrigued by any of that. I was kind of just like, yeah, whatever. Like, but the ones that I do remember from that time period are the ones that were like, you know, Zan, you're a great guy. You've been through a lot, and I really value you as a person. Like, these were the women that I remember. And out of these 30, 40 girls, I think maybe 3 or 4 of them said that to me. Those are the ones I still remember. And those are the ones that if I were to go back in time and treated them like an actual person, it would be these 3 or 4 people. But that's not how I was moving back then. So for me, my worth and everything has always felt as if it depends on if people look at me as a waste of space or someone they actually want to spend time with. And it really feels like I've gone my whole life with people feeling the latter. Like, I guarantee you, if I didn't reach out to any of my friends, it would take them weeks, months even, for them to realize that, yo, wait, I ain't heard from Zan in a minute. And I don't know, maybe that goes to show that maybe I just need different friends. Maybe I need to embrace this 15,000th loneliness chapter that I'm experiencing in life. I've lived a pretty lonely life because of stuff like this. And I notice that I keep being put into these lonely chapters, and maybe the reason why I'm constantly being put into is because I need to embrace it. Like, when I look at the loneliest times in my life, it's also when I experience the most growth as a person. And maybe I'm losing track of that. Maybe I'm losing sight of that. That this loneliness is what God is putting me in, so then I can reach the levels that I've been praying about for years. That image of what my life looks like, and I'm maladaptive daydreaming my ass off, and it's the career, the city, the high rise, the body, the social media following, whatever that is. Maybe I just need to embrace this loneliness to get there. And I said earlier in the video that it's gotten to a point where I feel like I'm resenting these people. But I wouldn't say it's something where I'm like holding a grudge, or am actively angry at them, even though I have to fight that urge of, all right, this is how you want to step to me? Let me show you what's up then. I have to fight that urge. But I don't know whether it's self-inflicted or whether these people were just genuinely shitty. Forgiveness is a lonely road. And I guess loneliness is kind of the theme of my life. Like, if someone asked me to describe your life in one word, I'd say lonely. I'd say lonely, or I'd say hard as shit. Those are the 2 categorizations of it. That's all I got. You know, it's funny, a Drake lyric is coming to me right now. In Churchill Downs, he says, how much water can I fit under the bridge before it overflows? My son's got to learn that forgiveness is a lonely road. And I feel like that verse of his is really speaking to me more than anything else right now. Because I ask myself, how much can I continue to forgive? How much can I just forgive and forget and move on with my life before I say, you know what, enough is enough. I got to spin back. I got to do something. I got to put my foot down. I got to do something. How many more people do I need to forgive and let bygones be bygones before I just find a solid group around me that isn't out to hurt me? Well, this is what it feels like. And I don't feel like I found that yet. So a big thing for me this year is just cutting those weeds and not continuing to water those dead plants. But somehow some of them always slip through the cracks, right? But I don't know. I am tired of this loneliness feeling though. And I do want to be able to get to a point where one day I can let someone into my life with open arms, where I do have people around me that I feel genuinely love me for me. Whenever that day comes, I guess it's not really up to me. But I guess now speaking out loud and making this video, I realize that, you know what, this idea of loneliness, I need to stop running away from it, because I used to never do that. I used to just be okay with it, but I don't know why. Especially since I came to my new university, I really felt this FOMO that I didn't feel before. That I was okay being by myself. I don't know why it's so hard for me to do that now, but maybe I need to just do that hard thing, because that's where everything I've ever dreamed of lies. But I guess only time will tell. Maybe we'll come back to this video, or we'll make a video in 6 months from now. My life's completely different. Who knows? But thanks for listening. All my other socials are going to be in the link tree in the description. Subscribe, like, let me know if there's something that you guys want me to talk about. Or maybe if you want to send me a message on something that maybe you want advice on that I can apply to everybody else. But I appreciate y'all. Take care.